If you've not gone to a sex shop by now, what are you doing? What are you doing? You've got to make him know who the boss is in the bedroom. If you have nails, you can run it slightly across his head. What you do is that you're going to give him goosebumps. You're going to give him goosebumps. You know why? Because you're activating a tingling sensation that can cause brain gasm. Sean, what are you hearing me? Have you ever had orgasm before? If you've never tried it, start kissing every area around it, all right, before you get to the tip of it. You know what you're doing? You're causing the need to anticipate your lips. Tone is powerful. It's a powerful tool that you should take advantage of. So today, before he comes back from work, make sure that you take care of him by shaving the necessary parts that you know you want to play with. I need you guys to finish work in such a way that when you finish work with this guy, he's too exhausted. Hey? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. On today's episode, we're going to be touching around spots that you should never miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is Lovers' Day, Valentine's Day, February 14th, where lovers come together and express your love and, give gifts and also hit it down. I think the number of people who make love during Valentine's Day far outweighs the number of people who make love on a normal day. I probably think so. If you were to put a camera in all the houses around the world, you would realize that people are more open to making love on Valentine's Day because we all have it at the back of our minds that that's the day that lovers do what lovers do. So if that's your plan tomorrow, for all of you who have committed relationships, you're married and you want to spice up something, you want to do something different, then this is where you ought to be, because today I will be giving you some spots that you should not miss. Some spots that are unconventional. It's not like I haven't talked about it on this channel before, but for the people who are new to my channel, and you want to celebrate tomorrow in a very intimate, passionate way tomorrow, stay on and listen to the end of this video. Now, I do know that we are accustomed to the conventional erogenous spots like the joystick, the juicy parts, maybe the lips while you're kissing, and then the twin towers. But we forget that there are some unconventional spots that we've neglected, and as a result, when you activate that spot, even without your partner knowing and realizing that that could be one of his erogenous spots, you will never know. You would never know. He would never know. Until you activate those parts, you will never know that that could be a gold mine. That could be a landmine where you step on and it just explodes. Poof. So if you want to create an unforgettable, remarkable, intimate time tomorrow in the bedroom with your lover, with your man, because I'm talking to the women now, these are some of the spots that you have to have at the back of your mind. Now, guess what? If you've not gone to a sex shop by now, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you know there are some toys for men that you can use on your man? See, I want a situation where tomorrow you are not doing the normal things that you usually would do or the normal things that you did last night. Tomorrow is a special day. So if I were you, I would go and get costume. A maid costume, maid costume. If you can, or if you have the money. If you don't have, don't go and break a bank because you want to make that night special. Instead, I would say, plan for it. Tomorrow can pass by. You can plan for it some other day. Every day should be a Valentine's Day, to be honest. in your relationship. Every day should be a Valentine's Day in a healthy relationship. Do you get what I mean? Without stress, and but I know that is unrealistic. So I want to stop selling fairy tales to you guys. But nevertheless, this is what I want you to do. If you have money to get costume, you can go and get whatever costume you want. There are shops that you can get costumes like maid costume, nurse costume, stripper's costume. I don't know, whatever costume, whatever role that you want to play tomorrow, girl, you've got to play. Especially if you're the type who is quite submissive in bed or you're quite passive in bed. Tomorrow you're going to show your dominant side. You've got to make him know who the boss is in the bedroom. Like I said earlier, if you haven't gone to get some toys, what are you waiting for? Don't make tomorrow pass by and you do not crack the code. You do not crack the code on how to keep a man tied down. Some of you will tell me, oh, you can't keep a man tied down. Who doesn't want to be tied down? But there are some things that you can do that can just make him reset his brain when it comes to you, when it comes to how he treats you. And these are some of the ways. So go and get toys. They are ring toys. They are joystick toys or joystick rings for the joystick. Go and get that one, because there is something that I want to tell you about using on how to use the ring toy. That's the joystick toy. You know, we cannot be calling names on this channel. We have to respect the community guidelines. All right, so be smart when I am talking. Number one unconventional sport that I think that we've neglected, even between man and women, is the scalp. The scalp is home to numerous nerve endings, and you should be able to activate it through the pad of your fingers by massaging. When you massage the scalp, right, you tend to reduce the stress level and increase or activate the parasympathetic nerve, which is responsible for relaxing the body during stress. So you need to realize that when you massage the scalp, you're actually releasing the stress, and you do not want your man to be stressed while you're intimate with him. So massage the scalp. And how you can do it to even cause arousal is to slowly, gently, from the back, take your time. Let him just lay on your laps. Maybe you guys are watching Netflix, right? Let him just lay on your laps and you're just massaging his head from the neck, back of his neck, to the back of his ear, middle. If you have nails, you can run it slightly across his head. What you do is that you're going to give him goosebumps. You're going to give him goosebumps. You know why? Because you're activating a tingling sensation that can cause brain gasm. Sean, what are you hearing me? So listen, do that and you'll get him really, really ready, because he knows what's up. And probably you have never ever touched his head, or maybe you've never ever massaged his head for a while. So he knows everything will, as long as he's sexually attracted to you, everything will start to respond to what you're doing up there, because you're sending message to his brain through the slight massage that you're giving to him. And then while you're massaging him, make sure that you go leave the head, massage down to the neck, and then his shoulders. You could just caress his shoulders to his hand, underneath his arm, down to his armpit. Slightly, slightly, slightly. Remember, the softer you do it, the more you get his nerves tingling. That's it. If you can place yourself in a position where you can massage his scalp and also give him forehead kisses or scalp kisses or head kisses, perfect. He knows what's about to go down. Another unconventional spot is the earlobe. You know, I've been talking about these earlobes, and some of you're not listening to me. Earlobes are home to nerve endings. They're home to nerves. right? Especially the outer part when you do it slightly. Have you ever had orgasm before? If you've never tried it, just be open minded, try it. Let your partner just use the tip of their tongue, and it has to be like you have to put a little bit of pressure on your tongue. You make the tip of your tongue hard, right? And then you flick it around and, the edge, the lobe. And then you can just use your lips to slightly suck the lobe here. And then while you're going round the ear lobe like so, you can just use your tongue, poke in the ear, and go back again. Make sure you don't use saliva, all right? Make sure that you don't use saliva because it will be nasty if you use saliva. Nobody wants their ears to be wet. So try as hard as possible to make sure that it is minimal. You have minimal fluid or minimal saliva in your mouth. Then you can whisper. When you're doing all of that, you whisper too, softly into his ears, telling him what you have planned out for him or how much of a good boy he has been. So you could talk dirty to him while you're doing all of that because your mouth is close by. You could also play with air pressure by breathing slightly as you're using your tongue around the earlobe. You can just breathe slightly into it and put your tongue in immediately into the earlobe. You can flick your tongue in there. That's if he would allow for that, because there are some people who would not allow for their ears to be played with like that, because some, it could be irritating to them. Others, it could heighten their, how would I say it? It could just heighten them sexually. For me, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. I don't know how you guys don't react to it, but that's a bummer for me. Okay? But make sure that his earwax is clean or his ears are clean, because I know that some guys don't clean their ears. So you don't want to be leaking earwax at the end of the day. Another, I don't think this one is an unconventional sport. We all know, but we tend to neglect it. And men treasure it. And that's the nips. It's the nips. Do you know, because some of us don't pay so much attention to their chest, we don't know how they react to it. And the moment you put your mouth on their chest, you see them shaking. It's because we've neglected it. Men are 10 times more sensitive around that area compared to women. You know why I'm saying that? Because men do know that that's one erogenous spot. So what they do is they always go to that place first. So our bodies, or sometimes our twin towers, might have gotten accustomed to it. So we understand the sensation, we're familiar with the sensation, compared to men who, women don't really take out time to stay on that area for a while. Maybe in a week, you just visit there once instead of you to be visiting that place all the time. So that's another spot that you should take into consideration if you want to get him mad. I'm not saying that you should go there and just suck like you're a baby. No, 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 no. How do you want him to treat your twin tower? That's how you should treat it. Well, we're all different. Like for me, what I would like for a man to do to me is not to be sucking like he's a baby. That sucking should come like after you've played with it with your tongue. All right? The tip of your tongue. Just use the tip of your tongue and just roll around it and flick around it. Flick around it, flick around it. And then slightly gulp it. Slightly gulp it. Like so. Move your head around while you're, because it is the action. And you know that. Sometimes you say men are visual, but women are also visual too. So when I see the man moving his head and he's passionate and makes sounds as well too, when you're doing all of those things, like he will make it will make him feel like you enjoy what you're doing. All right? Like you love what you're doing to him. And he will treasure it more. Sounds sounds play a huge part if you want to make the events in the bedroom much more memorable. So while you're doing it, make sure that he feels and he senses, he hears that you enjoy what you're doing right there and then. So you move your head while you're playing with it. You while you're swirling your tongue around his twin tower or whatever the case is. I don't want to use the main word. You swirl your head as well too. You swirl your head so that he sees the movement of your head. You know, and then you could just leak from the base of it to the nip, or you could just start kissing every area around it, all right, before you get to the tip of it. You know what you're doing? You're causing the need to anticipate your lips. And when he doesn't know the exact moment you're going to wrap your lips around it, he starts to anticipate. The moment your soft lips wraps around the lips, it is a goner. And if you know how to work it real well, he is a goner. I have taught you how to play with the twin tower. So when you first and foremost make your tongue, the tip of your tongue firm, you play around it with your tongue. You flick around it with your tongue, and then you can hold the nip in between your teeth slightly. You're not biting it. And then while the nip is inside your mouth with your teeth holding it firmly, not firmly, like slightly, use your tongue to just wiggle around it. So what you're doing, you're giving him selective sensation. He feels your teeth slightly around it, but your tongue is also giving him another sensation. And this is where even clam can work, you know. That's so let's not just spend too much time there, because I feel like we spend too much time over them. So the armpits, I have talked about the armpits. You know, I have talked about the armpits before. You know why you get ticklish around the armpits is because there are lots of sensory nerves right there. So how about you close the armpit like this, right? You close the armpit like this, and what you do is you use your tongue to poke it like so. Try it. They know they tell person something, just try it. You poke it like so, and then you plant kisses around it. You raise his hand, and then you start planting kisses around it. If you know that your man is clean, I don't know why you'll be dating or married to a man who does not take his hygiene seriously. But if I were dating a guy who I know he's really clean, or if I'm married to a man that I know he's really clean, then there are no-go areas. When I mean there are no-go areas, there are areas that are no-go. You know that number two is no-go area. But yeah, if you know that he's clean and he doesn't have he has not sprayed what do they call it, deodorant, because you don't want to be leaking deodorant, any chemical, anything. But make sure that before you do all of these things, he has had his bath. You have also had your bath too. So what you do is that you raise his arm, and then you use your tongue. I like to use tongue. Tongue is powerful. It's a powerful tool that you should take advantage of. We're not taking advantage of our tongue. So you could either raise his hand, and then you plant kisses, and then you wiggle your tongue around it. He might feel ticklish, but there is a way that you could do it that it tilts the scale into something that is sensual. Do you get? There's a way you can do it. And then you can slightly just graze your teeth by grabbing a little bit of flesh, you know, and then you kiss it again. Make sure that you just don't want him to feel ticklish. So whatever you're doing with the mindset that you want him to be aroused. So there's a way that you can play around it. Okay? And make sure that he's shaving. So today, before he comes back from work, make sure that you take care of him by shaving the necessary parts that you know you want to play with, because tomorrow has got to be that day. You can even start now. But what's the point when you start today? What would you do tomorrow? The same thing. You can't do the same thing, but So some of you would tell me that, no, I can't go through the armpits. I can't do it. Listen, let me show you something. The armpits are also a prime source of pheromones. And pheromones are a natural body chemical that can elicit a reaction from your partner. And you need to realize that women react positively to pheromones when the armpit is stimulated. Now, there was a study conducted in 2003 where women who sniffed, secretion from the armpits, that's the male pheromones. The pheromones prompted, the release of the luteinizing hormone in women. Lutein hormones are hormones that are responsible for fertility in women. So you're not just playing with his armpits. It's also favorable for you because according to the study, the pheromone release from you stimulating your man's armpit, right, could help in the release of your own lutein hormone. It's a hormone that plays a major role when it comes to fertility. All right. So if you're that type of girl who you like to sniff your partner's armpit, you're doing a lot of good to yourself because you're releasing that pheromone, and that pheromone in return is activating that luteinizing hormone inside of you that is responsible for fertility. How good can that be? You will not believe it now because you would think to yourself, Jane, what are you talking about? Be plain. That is what research has shown. Now, another spot that you should not miss out, my darling, right, is the lowest belly, just below the belly button. And that's the space between the belly button and the pubic area. I say area, the pubic area. Just this, more or less, like you can call it the pouch. That place is very sensitive. What you just need to do is to kiss around it, or to play around it with your tongue, or to just nibble around it. And you will get him reacting massively. You can also use ice cube, but I beg. Leave that ice cube. When it melts, you now have water spilling around the bed or around the sheets. No. Just use your mouth, right? Like I said, the space between the belly button and the pubic area, just at the start of the pubic area, just here, more or less like the pouch. Just go there, kiss it, nibble around. In fact, the sensation comes more when you nibble around it, like slightly biting around it, slightly or not so bad. Because what that does is that the idea that you're close to the genital, or you're close to the down there, but you're not close, just ignites some level of sensation. And you will notice that when someone nibbles around your pouch area, you feel that, especially someone that you're sexually attracted to, you feel that sensation, like butterflies in your tummy, like that sensation in your tummy. Do you get what I mean? So that's another part that you should take advantage of. And then when you're doing whatever you're doing, don't just stay around the pouch area. You could go to the pelvic side of it, the left, the right. Just play around it. When he sees you, like he's laying down and he sees your head playing around, moving from right, left, and center, you're close to his joystick, but you're not close. You're not doing anything, but you're just playing around the pouch area. It will heighten his sensation. He will be begging you, please go down because his anticipation is up there. And he cannot wait for those lips to wrap around that area. But we still have more to go. Do you want more? Because my video is already getting too lengthy. I don't want it to be so lengthy. So this is part 1. We're coming back with part 2. You're not ready yet. Hey, you're not ready yet for the next one that I want to give you. The inner thighs. I'm coming back. Make sure that you like, you comment, you share with your fellow females out there that are planning to give that man something, an experience that he will never forget. All right? So we're coming. I want to see you like, I want to see you comment your plans. What are your plans for tomorrow in bed with that man? I need to know. I need to what? Know. Until I come again today, because I'm bringing part 2. I need you guys to finish work in such a way that when you finish work with this guy, he's too exhausted. Hey, be right back.